Hi everyone, welcome to Delta Resource Staffing, where we bring you up-to-date postings from a job requirement standpoint, bringing to you the best the job market has to offer in these trying times. We all know the job market has been very funny, going up and down. We don't know if we're in a recession, but from my own perspective, I think we're in a recession. So with that being said, we try here at Delta Resource Staffing to bring to you guys all the necessary information, the companies that are hiring and how much they are paying and if it makes sense in this economy, right? So with that being said, we are going to be talking about GoFundMe today, the requirement at GoFundMe, and of course we're also looking at this job posting from Pi Insurance. Just a little bit about myself again. I like to do this in all of my videos so you know I know what I'm talking about. I've been in the software development ecosystem for over a decade now. You know, I've worked across multiple industries. Think about it, I'm not necessarily industry or vertical specific. I work across multiple industries. I'm very familiar with the Scrum processes, the waterfall processes, even though I'm very hands-on from a software development standpoint. I'm also very, client facing. I could play an advisory role. I could, jump into a project or scrum master role, business analyst role, developer role, technical or solutions architect type role. So I actually know exactly what I'm talking about, and within this space is where we've seen a whole lot of growth and a whole lot of resources being hired in the last couple of months. So stay tuned as we jump into it. A compliance analyst role with GoFundMe. This is very straightforward. I'm not going to waste too much time jumping into the job description and all of that, but I'll tell you what this role is talking about. Think about GoFundMe. GoFundMe is an organization that helps people in need, maybe college funds, funeral expenses, people who are trying to buy a car, buy a house, whatever, you need help with. They come here to GoFundMe and they set up an account and people go there and contribute. So basically they are crowdsourcing, right? So I'll tell you this, a compliance analyst is someone who looks through each GoFundMe account to understand that customer, understand what they're doing. Is it fraudulent? Should they be opening an account for something like this? And you should also understand that GoFundMe would have a list of occasions or list of things that you should not be opening a GoFundMe account for. For example, they want this resource to be able to do a watch list screening to make sure, okay, this person is not a politically exposed person, right? This person is not a terrorist, or this person is not trying to finance a terrorist group or is into a terrorist organization. Consumer complaints. They should also be looking into the complaint of the consumers, meaning the customers, and other financial crimes, right? So this role is really saying you can be our third eye or our second eye. Make sure people are not misusing our dashboard, our tool, our application, whatever name you want to call it, right? Now, for this individual, they need to have minimum of 3 years experience working in payment, compliance, and on risk management operation. I'll tell you this, for the people that have actually worked in AML, anti-money laundering, this would be a good role for you, right? I didn't even see this. Look. In-depth knowledge of aspect of AML programs. I didn't even know AML was actually written here. But this would be a good role for people who have worked in anti-money laundering roles, knowing your customers, your KYC and all of that. Of course, trust me, I know all these things because my wife is an AML analyst. So I always pay attention to our job, so I know. Excel individual metrics and adhere to these level agreements, meaning there will be a timeline for you to be able to do a part or perform a particular task, right? So you should not be exceeding that timeline, or maybe your customer should not exceed a particular day of getting funds or crowdsourcing. That's a service level agreement. So each stage of the business process should have or would have a service level agreement. And maintain strong quality standards while contributing to improving the team's operational performance. Confidently maintain clear and concise communications with colleagues while working in a remote or hybrid environment. So in today's world, while working remotely, companies tend to provide their workers with communication applications, right? It could be Teams, it could be anything. It could be Teams or any other tool, but the ability for you to IM your coworker if you had a question or if you needed help, and of course being online, that is very important. Understand how non-profit organizations operate throughout North America and internationally, as well as risks present with non-profit industries. So understanding the do's and don'ts of a non-profit organization, making sure they have their 501c, I think that's what that document is called. Strong comprehension skills and ability to make sound decisions based on facts and context. So just read through this, and I'm just going to jump right into the salary. Here, the salary is not as competitive as the other two I shared, but of course, it's between 60 and 85,000 plus equity and benefit. Now, this is a very big one. Do not forget to ask for equity. Some employers would put this here, but when they're putting together your offer letter, they will not or might forget to put this equity. So remember to ask, right? I was once, I think back 2014, with a firm who ended up getting acquired while I was still working with them, but they gave me some equity, some shares within the organization, and trust me, that was a big payday for me. So always remember to ask this, right? And with that being said, let's jump over to our last position of the day, which would be with Pi Insurance. This is a great place to work based on the reviews on Glassdoor, Career Builder, and all of that. So Pi Insurance is looking for a business systems analyst. What is a business systems analyst? This is nothing but a business analyst who can configure the system. This is nothing but a role of an administrator who can play the role of a business analyst and also configure the system. So this role would require the business analyst sitting down with the business stakeholders or the business team or the product team to understand their requirement, translate it from a technical requirement into a technical requirement, of course store it in Jira or Microsoft Azure, again, whatever tool is being used. And when they get into the build phase of the engagement or the project that they're currently working on, this individual is also expected, or might not be, but just to go over and above and beyond, this individual is expected to also get hands-on with implementing this, at least from a declarative standpoint, point and click, nothing programmatic, right? So let's dive into this. Pi's mission is to empower small business to thrive by making commercial insurance affordable and as easy as pie. Right? We leverage technology to transform how small businesses buy and experience commercial insurance. So let's just go straight to what is required of you, right? So as a business system analyst, let's go into what is required of you. Business system analysts are experts in our business and the technology that supports our business. Exactly what I said. They understand the business requirement and also understand the tool, the technology. Their goals are to improve the quality of technology service provided to businesses through the design and documentation of requirements, just like I had mentioned, and leverage native system functionality to simplify overall process and solution. So nothing customized, nothing programmatic. It's just what is required of you is to understand the tool, configure the tool from a declarative standpoint. Business system analysts are part of a team of technical architects, developers, and other team members who work in service of streamlining our operational journeys. So this is a Scrum team, and you're supposed to be a business analyst, right? Your role would be collaborating with stakeholders to understand their business requirements and identify areas where technology can be leveraged to optimize business processes. I think I expatiated on this. You would be responsible for evaluating and recommending SaaS solutions. So you will not, as a business analyst, be recommending. This is the work of a solutions architect that they mentioned, or technical architect that they talked about here, right? So your job would be to capture the requirements, store it, understand it, translate it from business requirement to technical requirement. You are not required to recommend SaaS solution. That is not within your willpower. Developing detailed specifications and project plan, no, this is the role of a Scrum Master or a project manager, right? This is not your role, except you will be playing a business analyst role plus a project manager role. Implementing and testing systems and features, this is your role. You will implement, you build a test plan and pass it over to the product owner to finally put a pass on it or rework. Providing training and support to end users, this is your role. Maintain strong analytical problem solving, communication, and project management skills are essential to succeed in this role. That is true. How you would do it? Design. So design and track requirement through the project lifecycle, including process mapping, validation, and desired outcomes. So you would be involved in design, but the chief designer would be the technical architect. You would just be here to help out from a requirement standpoint. Curate user stories representing the voice of the customer with clear problem statement, acceptance criteria, and operational value statement. This is your role. So you would write user stories. I would also create a video in the future on how to write a clear and concise user story, persona-based user story. I'll also create a video to show how to write a concise and straightforward persona user story. Execution. Create and maintain test scenarios, test script, and test data in collaborations with business partners, validating system designs, configurations, integrations, and performance. Provide training and support to end users, including developing training materials and conducting training sessions. Of course, collaborate. It's really straightforward. Would be lead in business processes, department, functional group activities on a regular basis to understand business needs and challenges and facilitate improvement. Work with business partners in identifying technical debt and capability gaps, right? And support the project managers and business managers to define project scope, schedule, resource, and budget requirements. So this is the role of a project manager or a Scrum Master. So you just work closely with them. The right stuff, right fit to the right seat. 3+ years of experience working in business, systems analyst or business analyst role, bachelor's degree. Again, experience count, but of course you don't need to satisfy all this experience to be able to get this role. Willingness to travel 15% of the time, so this would amount to roughly 3 times a year ability to travel. And of course the biggest part here is the base compensation, $95,000 to $130,000 US. Again, remember to negotiate. And remember to read through this compensation and benefits here, but by no means go on their website the careers and apply to these roles that I just presented to you, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click on the like button, or go into the comment section and just let me know what you think. If you have any kind of questions, I'm working on adding a resume template and also a link where you can reach me one-on-one for personal coaching. Really looking forward to working with everyone. Thank you, and see you guys soon.